Is my screen visible?
Yes, we can see your screen.
All right. So, so today we'll be looking at cell referencing, and remember what I said last week was that cell referencing is like the pillar or like a bedrock to whatever you want to learn in Excel, and it is very important for you to understand cell referencing. If you don't understand how cell referencing works, then it will be very difficult for you to use formulas and functions in Microsoft Excel. It will be very, very difficult. So hence, you pay attention and you listen. So cell referencing is a way of, in short, it's a way of referring to a particular cell in a Microsoft sheet. Don't forget what I said last week. The whole of this of what you're looking at is a workbook. Inside of the workbook, you have sheets. These are sheets. These are sheets. And inside of the sheet, you have cells. So these are cells. Now, cell referencing is a way of referring to a particular cell in Microsoft Excel. So what I wrote here is identifying and using specific cell within the worksheet to perform calculation. Yeah, that's the essence. Display data or create formulas. Basically, what they are doing is you are referencing to a particular cell. And we have three types of cell reference. We have three types of cell reference. We have the relative cell reference. We have the absolute cell reference. And we have the mixed cell reference. Starting with the relative reference. Relative reference is very independent and it changes automatically without anything blocking it. You will understand what I'm saying now. Let me go to a working sheet now. This is sheet A1. In Excel also, you have the sheets named with the column column letter as well as the row number. So this sheet is A1. This will be B1. This is the B. This is the one representing the B. Or this is the one. A1 specifically means this will be A2. Naming each of these cells. This will be B2, right? A2, that's the meaning. And so on and so forth. C2, C3, combination of the column letter and the row number. So a cell in a worksheet is usually named in alphanumeric name, meaning the combination of an aspect from the column aspect and the row numbers, right? So if you don't know that, that's another thing you have to know. So this is cell A1, A2, A3, A4. Likewise, B1, B2, B3, B4, like that. C1, C2, C3, C4. So if I may ask, what would this cell be? This cell here, what will it be?
D4.
It's going to be
D4.
okay, D4. All right. So you can mute. You can mute. So this is cell D4. So now, this is where cell reference now comes into play. Look at something. I have in cell B2 200. I have 300 here. I have 400. Now, before I go on, if you look at reference itself, it is reference is the combination of a word called refer. Refer. You are referring to something. You're referencing something. Now, looking at these numbers here, if I say, and another thing I forgot to tell you is to, to reference a number or to use any formula in Microsoft Excel, you need to start with equals to, for instance, equals to sum, equals to average. Whatever calculation you're doing in Excel, you need to start with equals to. Even if you want to add this together, equals to this plus this, right? But then now, I'm not summing anything. I just want to reference the numbers. I just want to reference the numbers. So what I would do is, let's say these numbers you're looking at here, I want to reference them somewhere else, or I want to refer to them somewhere else. Say in cell D, from cell D2. So I can say equals to this. You know what I've done is I have referred to B2, and automatically what you get is what is in B2. Now, if I drag this down, right, because this is a relative reference and nothing is stopping it, if I drag this down, I should automatically see everything that is in B2, everything that is in B3, everything that is in B4. This is what we call a relative reference. Now, let me wipe this off. Let's say this is not where I want to refer to them. Let's say I want to refer to these numbers in cell C5, starting from cell C5, and I'll say equals to this, equals to B2. I should see everything in B2. If I drag this down, this should because as I'm dragging, it is also moving. It simply means this should move from 200 down here so I can see B3. If I also drag down this, I should see what is in cell B4, right? I am referring to this cell using another cell. That's meaning. So this is a very good example of a relative reference. It moves automatically without anything stopping it. I can decide to say, okay, I want to refer to cell B3 here now, right? You can see if I drag this down, I should see nothing is stopping it. Now, guys, what about if I drag this one down? Oh, well, the question I want to ask, I can't ask again. It simply means because you see, it's in B5, but because nothing is in B5, it is returning 0. That's the meaning. If I still drag this down, it will still refer to B6. You can say that it's moving, but because nothing is placed here, and that's why these ones are empty. If I then say, okay, I'll put 100 here, you see that automatically the 100 comes here. If I put 50 here, the 50 also appears here. This is what we call a very good example of a relative reference. Now, let me move this forward. Let's say I have numbers here 200, 150, 300. Horizontally is what I want to do now. Yeah, horizontally. Let's say I want to refer to these numbers here equals to this F2. The same way I'm dragging this one down the other time, I also drag this to the right, and all the cells here will appear here because I have referred to each and every one of them. And because this is a free and independent reference, a relative reference, it moves. It moves. Now, the question is, if I drag from here to here, what do you think my outcome should be? If I drop this now, what do you think my outcome will be? I need a response. Oh.
Can, can you please do it again? And I didn't guess where you're
I
dragging
said
from. I didn't see where you're dragging from, sir.
I have reference from F2, and because I have dragged here, you can see G2 here is referencing what is up there, and this is referencing this. If I drag this to the right now, what do you think would appear there?
0.
Why 0?
Because there's nothing referencing back from the I2.
Thank you very much. This should be 0, right? Very correct. Now, nothing is stopping it, but then it will still give you the outcome because it's a relative reference, right? And if I now say, okay, let me put something here. Let's put 50 here. Then we appear. These are the ways automations are done. We still referencing are the ways some small automations are done in Excel. Don't worry, when we get to that part, you will understand what I'm saying. But this is what we call a relative reference. It moves independently, freely, nothing stops it. I'm going to give the last example of relative reference now. Now, let's add 300 here, 700 here, 500 here. Now, if I say, if I come here to reference equals to here, right? I am referencing from G2. From G2 now. If I should drag this down, what should my outcome be?
300.
Should be 300. Yeah, correct. If I drag this down, this will be 700,
300.
right? If I drag this down, this should be
Then 500.
500. If I take it further by dragging this down again, what will be the outcome? 0. Because nothing is
0.
here. It simply means the more I reference, the more the result comes. But because everything here is empty, it won't pick anything. It will just report it as 0. So this is a very good example of a relative reference. This is a very good example of a relative reference. Now, I am going to give you, let me highlight whatever I have here. So now, to absolute reference, here it is said that absolute reference are references that are always fixed, irrespective of what number you have given to them. They will always be fixed. They are fixed, and they are also called constant reference. Constant reference. Let's go back to this our example. Going back to what I have here, let me use what I have here. For instance, let me delete all these ones that I have here. For instance, now let me refer to these cells here equals to this, right? Now let's go down. This is a relative reference, right? Now, in the same vein, let's let me show you what absolute reference look like. I said they are always constant and they are absolute. They are fixed. They are fixed. How you call it fixed reference? Constant reference or absolute. So it equals to B2 now. But for you to make this B2 an absolute reference or a constant reference or a mixed reference, you need to add a dollar sign at the back of B, and another dollar sign at the back of 2. I'm going to repeat myself again. To make cell B2 a constant reference, you need to add dollar sign at the back of B and also another dollar sign at the back of 2. Meaning, What you have done there is I am locking the B. I don't want the B to move, and I don't want the 2 to move because for cells, they are named they either they flow by the row or they flow by the column. If they flow by the row, that is the numbers. The rows are in numbers, while the columns are alphabet. What you have done here is you have made this B2, you have made it fixed, both the column as well as the row. I have locked both the column as well as the row. The column here is the B, while the row is the 2. That's the meaning. Now, let me drag it down. The answer will still be 200 because whatever you have in B2 will still appear. But now, when you now drag down, is where you now see the difference. I dragged it down, it still remains 200. If I drag it to the left, to the right as well, it will still be 200. And the reason is because I have made it absolute. I have locked both the column as well as the row. So no matter where you are dragging it to, it still remains 200. It still remains 200. Now, let me delete this. Let's do another example. Let's make B3 absolute equals to, this is B3, right? Then now, instead of me to be pressing the dollar sign one by one, best way to do this is to, I want to put that here, is to use, if you look at your keyboard, it's a key called FN. It's written there, FN. It's called function. It's a function key. So what you need to do is using this function key plus F4 plus F4. There's also a key. If you look at some of the function keys, you will see it's F1, F2, F3, F4. All you need to do is press the F10 key plus F4 together. Then you're able to bring out the dollar. Now let me show you. Let's do a reference again. Let's do a reference again. Let me do equals to B3 here. So what I will do is function F4. You see, I don't have to add dollar sign one by one. I can easily say equals to B3 function F4 equals to B3 function F4. Then dollar sign appear. Then no matter where I drag this to, it still remains 300. It will still remain 300. If I drag it up or down, if I copy this, I paste here, it will still be 300. Because I have made it absolute. I have locked both the row and the column. Are you guys getting me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I have locked both the row and the column. And that's why you're seeing this. Now, this is a very good example of an absolute reference. No matter, upon locking it, no matter where you drag it to, it still remains constant. If I change this to B4, B4 is where you have 400. You change this to 400, but no matter where I drag it to, it still remains 400. This is no more a relative reference. This is a constant reference or a fixed reference or a fixed reference. So this is how an absolute reference works. Now, to the last one, which is a mixed reference. Now, this is where it becomes now a little bit complicated, but if you open your heart to it, you will see that it's not difficult. This is a combination of a relative reference and an absolute reference. Now, you know what a relative reference does? A relative reference is independent without a dollar sign, right? It's not logged, it moves freely. Meaning as you drag down, it goes to the next one. As I drag down, it goes to the next one. As I drag down again. This is where you start from. You see like that. But a constant reference, because you have added a dollar sign to it, it remains constant. Now, if you now have the combination of both the the relative reference and absolute reference. It is possible. Now, this is how it's possible. Look, equals to B2 now. Don't forget what I said. The B, so let me ask you, the B is what here? The B is what? Anybody?
That's the colon.
That's colon. While the 2 is what?
0.
0. Thank you. Now, it simply means I can lock a row and leave the column to move independently. Or I lock the column and leave the row to move independently. Now, this is it. So for a mixed reference, if I had a dollar sign to the back of B, for instance, and leave the 2 alone, what you have done here is I want the column part to be constant, to be fixed, and I want the row part to move freely. Now, let me give you an example of that. Let's do one thing. Before that, let me do one thing. Let's put some numbers here. 500, 300, 800. Let's do that for it. Now, let's say I want to refer to these numbers. You know, on a good day, if I say equals to let me see how you really understand. Trying to see what I can do. Okay, let's say I'm starting from here, and I say equals to 3 to 9. You know, if I move this to the right, what do you think will happen if I move to the right? What will my outcome be?
It will still be 200.
Why is it going to be 200? I didn't make this one absolute.
5. Yeah. It should be
Moving this
500.
to the right. It's going to be 500 now. I didn't make it absolute.
Yes.
If I drag this to the right again, what will be the outcome?
300.
300. Now look at something. If I drag this B2 down, what will be my outcome?
Should be 300. 300.
It should be 300 because it's moving freely. Now,
Yes.
this is where relative reference mixed reference comes to play. Now, see, with this 200, let's say, and I say, hey, Mr. Column, be absolute, or Mr. Row, move freely. That's what I've done here. I added a dollar sign at the back of it, meaning that I want the column to be constant, but because I don't have dollar sign at the back of 2, I'm saying I want the row to move freely. Now let's try it out. If I drag this down now, what do you think the actual outcome should be? I'm dragging
200.
down.
Shall be 200.
It should be 200. Who else
Yes.
have a contrary opinion? Anybody with a contrary opinion? Moni Bolaji. If I drag this down, what should be the outcome?
It will be 200, sir.
200. But you all got it wrong. It will still move. I said I have locked the column. The column is dragging to the right. The row is dragging down. Now what I've done here is I've placed dollar sign at the back of the column, meaning that, see, this is the column. If you are dragging like this, is the column. You can see that it still remains 200.
Okay.
If I drag down to move freely, the row part is number, column part is the alphabet.
Okay.
Don't get it. Don't get it wrongly. You need to understand this very well, though, because if you are working with formulas, this will help you a lot. Look at the row part is the column, but because I've made I have locked the row part, I mean column part rather, and I left the row part, meaning that I want the row part to move freely. Why I want this to remain constant. Let's do otherwise. Let's say, okay, hey you guys, I'm changing this to B3. That's the name error. I'm changing this to B3. Right? Now say, oh, hey Mr. B, which is the column, move freely. I'm not adding dollar sign to you. But Mr. Row, which is 3, I'm adding dollar sign to you. Dollar sign. So the question now is, if I drag to the right, what do you think the outcome will be? Anybody? Drag to the right, what would the outcome be? I'm going to play again. I have freed the column. I'm not locking it. That's why I did not add the dollar sign. But I have locked the row. So dragging to this side, what do you think my outcome will be?
300.
300. Anybody else?
0.
Why is it going to be 0?
Because on
Look at it
B3,
holistically. You are very correct, actually. So now, because we don't have anything there, you're right. You can see now it's going to be 0 because it's going to move freely. Okay, let me do something. For those of us who are not getting it rightly, let's put some numbers here. 100, 50, 30, like that. Now, column move freely. Uh, the row be constant. So if I move this becomes 100. Money, if I move this to the right, again, this becomes what? Money, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so it becomes what? Moving this to the right again becomes what? What would the outcome be? Can anybody help out?
it should still be 50.
0.
No, now,
Where?
money, what are you
Where is the
saying?
column?
Where are you seeing the 0 from? See,
Where are you?
I'm
Okay,
telling you,
3. Sorry, I was looking at 4.
if you don't get this reference right, you will not know how to use formula. I'm going to do it again one more time. Equals to this. I'm leaving the column to move freely, but I am locking the row. I am locking the row with dollar. Now, money. If I drag this down, what will be the outcome? What should the outcome be? Oh, yeah, oh. What would the outcome be? Mr. Peter, what would the outcome be?
300. 300.
This is very simple now. See, this thing is not hard. See, if you don't get these basics, you will not understand how to use formula. It's not difficult at all. The B is the column. The column is to the right. The row is the number. The B, the letters at the column, which is always to the right or back again. While the row are the numbers. When you are dragging down like this, they are numbers. When you're dragging to the right, they are the columns. And you have it here. Unlocking the B, you are saying it should move freely. But locking the 3, you are saying, please, whatever number that it is there, if you drag down, it should still be that number. That's the meaning. But unlocking the B, meaning if I drag to the right, it should return whatever it is here. Because it is free. It's not difficult. Do you understand, Moni? Do you understand? Hello, are you there? Is she not there?
Sir, I'm here, sir.
Talk now. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. I get it now, sir.
Okay. So let's move on now. Now, these basics are very, very important to know. Just like what I've said. You need to know how to drag, when to use, what it implies using the mixed reference, the relative reference, the absolute reference. Now let's go to a good examples now. I think I've even done all these things, but I'll just clear them out. Now, a very good example of what we have here is you have the price relative reference now. You have the price of close up and you have units sold. Price of close up or a double Pepsodent, and you have units sold. So to get total sales now, you know what you have to do is equals to the price, right? Multiplied by units sold. Am I right?
Yes.
Now, for an analyst, you don't have to do this one by one again. Since you have done the first one and you know that both are relative reference, meaning that if you drag down, it moves, right? Nothing has been locked here. You can see because you need the price to be multiplied by the unit sold. So likewise, you also need the price of this to be multiplied by unit sold of this. You need the price of this. So meaning that if you drag this down, it should give you your answer. Do you understand me?
Yes.
Because
Yes,
I
sir.
know that I need this price to be multiplied with this. And nothing, I'm not locking anything. It's relative. So upon doing that, when you drag down, it gives you the answer. Then I sum this up. So this is a very good example of using relative reference, multiplying something by something, knowing fully well that these prices are different from each other. You need this price to be multiplied by the unit sold of these brands. Then this is a very good example of relative reference. Now let's go to relative and absolute reference. Let me see what I've done here. You get a good example of what I'm saying now. Okay. So what I've done here is what did I do here? Okay. Let's just leave this. I'm going to show you down later. Now look at something. So I've taken it to the next level by adding an absolute reference to this. Now, you know, when we when we calculated the total sales the other time, we said equals to this price multiplied by this, right? We can easily drag this down, right, to get. But now, uh, I am saying with this 10%, can you increase these sales by 10%? Can you increase these sales by 10%? See, ordinarily, if you look at it, this is 100% itself. In mathematics, this number is 100% itself. Decreasing these sales by 10% means I put a bracket here. Since so use board mass here now to put a bracket. If you don't understand, let me know. I'll go back. You put a bracket. I am putting the brackets, right? It's because I want to add something. So I'm going to multiply this. I'm going to multiply this by saying, let me put another bracket. Because I said for whatever outcome I have here, they are 100% itself. So you can say 100%, right, plus this. Then you close the bracket. So, if you do 100% plus 10%, it becomes 110%. So now instead of what did we have before? We had this multiplied by this. We had 11,000, but because I said please increase these sales by 10%. Now we now have 12,100 naira. Right. Now look at something. Look at something here. If I then drag this down, now something will be wrong. Something will be wrong. Look at something now. Look at the first one here and look at the second one here. What do you think has happened? Why is this showing value error? What do you think has happened? What has happened is because this 10%, because it is relative, because I need to multiply everything by 10% actually. But because this is relative, this is relative, when I drag down, it moved from E12 where it was. Let me convince you. I think, let me merge this so that you will not get it wrong. Now, it's on E12 because it is relative. It's going to be correct for the first one, but upon dragging down, it has moved from E12 to E13, and there's nothing in E13, and this will not be correct. Now, the best thing to do here is now to make this constant. Make the E12 constant because you don't want it to move. You want it to remain fixed. So if I put function F4 here, it becomes constant. If I drag down, it will now be correct. Do you understand? Or should I go again? I'm going to go again, but do you understand?
Yes, but you can go again, please.
Yes, I understand, sir.
Okay, so now let me do let's see something that I can do that is simple. Let me use this again. Let's see what I can do. Let me see. Let me do something different. Okay. Let's say what I want to calculate here not increasing by 10%. Let's say I want to know 65 for the sales done up here, for the sales done up here, which is still here, the same thing as here. I want to know 65% of the sales done. To calculate the sales is just this times this, right? I can easily drag down, which is relative. Now, if someone now tells me, please, for the sales you have calculated here, don't let me do it inside of this. Let's do it inside of. Let's do it in another cell, so you understand what I'm saying. Let's say I want to get that contribution now. I want to get second sale, which is 65%. I need 65% of all these sales. Ideally what I'm supposed to do is equals to this multiplied by E12, right? 65% of these sales is 7,150, which is right. Correct. As a data analyst, I can't be doing it one by one now. If I have like 1,000 rows, I can't be saying, okay, equals to this times 65%. And I go to another sheet, equals to, before you know it, the day is gone and you've not done anything. All I just need to do is get the first logic right, and I can drag down, right? Now look at, if I drag this down, some error will come. You know why that error has come? The first one will be correct. The second one will not be correct because this has moved from E12, ideally, is supposed to be on E12. It has moved from E12 to E13 because upon setting it, I did not make this absolute and I drag down, right? It has moved. I don't want it to move. Then, if you don't want that this 65% to move, because here we want to apply this 65% to all the numbers in this table, you need to make it absolute. Function F4. Adding dollar sign to the back of E, adding dollar sign to the back of the number. Now with this, because I want this to move, because I want E15 to move, because from E15, which is 11,000, it should come down to 5,000, which is correct. But I do not want this 65%, because I want to use this 65% to multiply every other thing here. Now that is correct, I can easily drag down. You can see now, if you take it, you see that the 65 is still there. Now, do you get what I'm saying now?
Yes, sir. I
Yes.
get it now.
You understand? You understand where constant references are coming into play now? Because sometimes you want to do some calculations and you don't want a particular number to move because you want to apply that number to every numbers in the table. You get it? Now, let's do one more thing. Let's say someone now tells me that, okay, since this is the total sales, this is the total sales, can you calculate the percentage contribution of each of these sales to the total number here now? Because it is total. I want to know contribution of close up to the total sales. Total sales is 45,925 naira. For those of us who understand mathematics, you know to calculate that to be this equals to E15, which is the close up sales, divided by the total number. I will get the percentage contribution. So meaning that close up has contributed 24% to the sales. Right? Now, as an analyst, I shouldn't be doing that one after the other. I shouldn't say equals to this divided by this, and I'll now put it might take a whole lot of time. I should apply my first formula right, so that all I need to do is drag down. Now, if I drag this down, do you think it will be correct?
Yes.
You think it will be correct? Moni, do you think
Yes.
it will be correct? Moni, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm here, sir.
You think it will be correct?
Yes, sir.
But this is the
Hmm.
outcome. Look at what has
Okay, you
happened.
did not put dollar sign in it. Oh,
I did
yeah.
not do what? I did not do what?
You did not put. You did not put dollar sign in front of the double total.
No, that is
Not
not why.
absolute. It's not.
These are all relative, right? I am saying now look,
Yes.
first understand whatever you are calculating. I'm saying I want to calculate percentage contribution of these sales to the total sales. Meaning I need to say 11,000 divided by 45,000. And that's what I've done here.
Oh,
E15 divided by
yes.
E19. Now, if I drag this
Yes.
down now, it's giving me this error. What do you think has happened?
Yes.
So you're supposed to make the
Total
45,000
sales.
yes
Constant. Yes.
absolute
Yes. You are supposed to put the dollar.
reference.
Thank you. I'm supposed to make the 45,000. You can see that what happened here was that it has moved from E19 to E20,
20, yes.
which I don't want. So what I will do here is I will apply my formula here. I'll just say Mr. E19, the absolute, and you can drag down. Then you will see I will get the percentage contribution of everybody. Now, this if you add the percentage contribution, you'll get 100% for everything. You can see, and that's what I've gotten. Even if I drag down here, it should give me 100%. You can see now. Because what has happened here is 5,000 divided by 45,000. So you can see the power of absolute reference. When to use absolute reference, right?
Yes.
Relative reference divided by an absolute reference. This is what I want to achieve. This is what I want to achieve. So you need to know and understand when to apply a relative reference. Meeting lọ́wọ́. Hello guys, are you there? Hello guys, are you there?
You can hear you now.
All right, let's moving on. So that is what's it called? And so let's take another example of what's it called now? Let's take example of what did I even do here? Okay. So let's take another example of a relative reference. So basically, I just want you to understand that here you can add dates to numbers. So this is close up, this is the other date, and this number of days to deliver the product. This is 50 days at 4 days. If you do equals to the dates plus the number of days to deliver, you will get the dates. So what has happened here is the date that the product was ordered plus the number of days, which is 50, is going to give you the next delivery date. And that's what I've done here. And all you just need to do is just drag down. This is very simple. So you get the next date. It's that simple. Now, look at something here. Look at something here. So you guys are going, because I've shown this example up there. I would need you guys to tell me how to get this. Now, I have a budget allocation. I have James, Emmanuel, Peter, and Kunle. They are supposed to share a sum of this money, 65,575,250. And this is the percentage contribution to the sharing. What do you think? How do you think, first of all, how do you think I'm going to do this? How do you think I will get the budget for James, for Emmanuel? I need you guys to talk. What am I going to do? This is the contribution. This is the number. What do I need to do? Money. If you don't have idea, just say you don't have idea. Mr. Peter. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Hold
Okay.
on. Hold on. Trying to say. No, I don't have the idea on that.
So, see, it's very simple. You also see, okay, make I use local language and give us 1,000 naira. They can say, okay, oh, Peter, you go take 20% of 1,000 naira. Money, you will take 80% of 1,000 naira. Right?
Yeah.
What do you think 20% of 1,000 will be?
Naira.
200.
Naira. I mean 200 naira.
So how do you arrive at 200 naira?
Over 100.
No, it's going to be the 20% multiplied by the 1,000 naira.
1,000 naira.
Then you get your 200 naira. The same thing here. We have the budget allocation here where the contribution has been given. What do you think we will now do now? I've given you expo. Equals to what?
25% divided by the budget.
No, now I didn't divide that time now. I multiplied.
Sir?
You guys are forgetting what I did here. Look at what I did here. 2080.
Okay.
You have to collect
25%
20.
divided by
Not divided by? Where did you see divided by?
I mean time. Multiplication. Sorry,
Multiplied
sorry,
by,
sorry.
yes,
Now
Multiply
let's go
by
ahead. Now tell me what to do here. Equals to what?
25
25%.
Uh-huh.
Multiply by
multiplied by
the budget.
65. Yes.
Thank you
Yes.
very much. You're right. This is it. So this guy James will get 60 million. Now look at something. As an analyst, I can't be doing it one after the other. If I drag this down, do you think it will be correct?
No,
No,
Why do you think it will not be correct?
because of the
because
percent,
the budget is not
the
absolute yet.
budget.
What do you mean by the budget is not absolute?
I mean, how do I put it? You've not added the dollar sign.
Why am I adding dollar sign to it?
Make it
Because it's constant. Why
Why
the
is it
the
why
con
is it constant? Why is it
for that's the
constant?
budget. That's the budget for all the contribution.
Thank you very much. Because it needs to be applied to everything. So if I drag this down,
Okay, yes.
it will move. You can see now it has moved down here. And it's getting 0 because there's nothing here. Meaning that I need to make this one B31 function F4. Right?
Yes.
Now if I drag down, it's now correct. You can see now. Sure, you
Absolutely.
can see. You can see now. What I've done here is relative reference multiplied by an
Yes,
absolute
sir.
reference. Do you get it?
Yes, I did. I did.
All right. So that's it. Now, down to the last one, which might be a bit confusing, but don't worry, I got you covered. This is mixed reference. Don't forget what we said about mixed reference the other time. Either the column is logged or the row is logged, and either the column is logged and the row is relative, or the row is logged and the column is relative. That is a mixed reference. A mixed reference is the combination of both the absolute reference and the constant reference, or
Reference.
what we call absolute reference. Now look at this thing. Let me add one more to it. Let me add 80 customer 5. There's something we call pay special. Look at there's something we call pay special because I want this to be like, I want this one that I just created to be like others. And easily I like this one. I come to this, what's it called? Command group where you have clipboard. I click on this format printer. As soon as I like this part of the table, I click on format printer, then I'll place it here. I'll just drop it. Then it will look like others. So I'm teaching you one. If you don't know before, now you know. I can do that again. I can do that again. Let's make this one. Let's say this is like this. But because I want to make it look like others, all I need to do is highlight one of these, click on this format printer, and drop it here. Then to look like others, right? Now that's that. I have some brands here and their prices, right? I have customers that have purchased these brands. This customer purchased 20 units of all close-up double or Abi. Customer 2 purchased 35 units of all close-up or Abi student. Customer 3, this is supposed to be customer 3. Customer 3 purchased 15. Customer 4 purchased 30. Right? Now, On a good day, if I'm going to get, so what we want to get here is price. Yeah, what we want to get here are values. We want to know the price of all the things customer one has got. The value of all the things customer one have got, value of what customer two have got, and so on and so forth. To do this, we have the price of close up, and this is the quantity purchased. We can easily say equals to this 200 now divided by units. The first one will always be correct. This is 4,000, right? This is 4,000, right?
Okay.
I can decide to do the second one like this, equals to double, which is 150 as price, multiplied by another 20, which will be correct. But then I can't keep doing this one after the other. Imagine I have like 1,000 rows or 1,000,000 rows. It will be difficult. It will take me 1 month to finish it, which simply means I'm not optimizing the tools I have while working. You get it? Now look at something. This is where relative mixed reference comes into play. Look at, so you need to consider, you need to look at both the row angle as well as the column angle. Don't forget what I said. The row are the numbers, while the column and the alphabet. Look at equals to this price, which is C43, multiplied by this. Now, if you look at this holistically, you know that to make this thing very easy, all I just need to do is and I just need to drag to the right and drag down so that all my answers will be populated. But then, in order to do that, I need to fix my referencing very well. I cannot use relative reference for everything because if I drag this one, look at the first one now, customer one. If I drag this one down, this one is showing value. You know why? It has moved from the 20 to customer one, which I don't want it to happen. So let's take it case by case. Let's start with the price itself. The price is C43, right? If I'm to ask you now,
Yes.
this price will apply to uh this price will apply to all customers, yes or no? This price C43 will apply to all customers, yes or no? Because I need this price here also. I need it to be equal to this 200
Yes.
multiplied by 35, right? I
Yes.
need equals to this 200 multiplied by this 15, right?
Yes.
15,
Now,
yes.
what do you think that implies? What do you think that means? What do you think that means? If
That
I
you should
need the 200, I should do what?
that you should make the 200 absolute.
I should make the 200 absolute. Correct. So let's make it absolute. Function F4, function F4, right?
Yes.
Multiplied by the price, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Fantastic. Now, if I drag this like this will now be correct. Everything will be correct, though. The first row will be correct. Will be correct. Now, look at something, though. But if I do this now, with what you have given me now, if I drag it down, if I drag this down, it might not be correct.
Yeah.
Do you know why it's not correct? Look at it very well. Look at what you have here. Look at this is correct. But when I drag it down, it's giving me two things. It
From
has moved
20 to
from
customer 1.
20 customer one. And it did not even move self. It still remain on 200. Ideally it's supposed to move from this 200 to 150. Now we have two problems now.
150.
First of all, it moved from customer, it's moved from 20 to customer 1. Ideally, this is supposed to move from 200 to 150 because I want it to move to right. I want the price to move.
Yes.
But then it still remain, when I drag down, it still remain at 200. It still means we are not done yet. Now, first of all, let's treat the price first. At the column level, you said it will remain constant because it is needed year, and year, right? But at the row level, do you think it will remain constant?
No.
No, it won't be constant anymore because you have
So
different
what do
prices.
you think we need to do to not make it constant?
Yes.
What do you think we need to do to not make it constant?
You remove the
Looking
dollar.
at this, no, you are getting a Peter talk.
Yeah, you remove the dollar sign there from the
From where?
from the C. Yeah, from the C. The dollar C $43. That's the 43 column.
No, I don't get. You have $2
Yeah.
here.
Yes. So you have to
You have
remove.
$2 here. Which of the dollars am I removing?
So you are removing that for the row.
The one in
So
front of
that's for
43.
C.
Thank
The
you.
one
The
in
one,
front of.
the one in front of CRB. Just say the
Yes.
one at the back of 43. Now, this will not be correct. What you have done here, you are saying at the column side, I need you to be constant. You can see it's at the back of C. But at the row side, I need it to move. Now, if you drag this down, for the price, it will be correct. You can see that the price will now move from 200 to 1. No, I've not applied it. So let's do what you said. This is it. Now let's drag down. Though the outcome might not be correct now, this is correct. And see, this has moved to 150, it has moved to 400. Now you have solved the price problem. Now, the next problem we have to solve is the quantity problem. How it's going to move. Look at D41. D41 is this. You know, looking at it, you need this. Do you need this price to? Do you need this to move from 20 to 35 to 15 to 30? That's the first question. Do you need it to move?
No.
Yes, sir. We need them to. Yeah.
From 20 to 35. No.
Why do you say no? Because
Because
if
you
you
are dealing
drag
with.
down here, you want to multiply this by 35 now, so you need it to move.
Okay. Okay.
See, what we want to do is we want to multiply 200 by 20, 200 by 35, 200 by 15, 200 by 30. So you need this to move from D41 to D42. This E41. You can see that's why this is correct. But it is when we now drag it down that is wrong. It simply means there's a problem. The problem is that the row part needs to be logged. This is the problem. The row part, it mustn't move in the row part because when it is relative, as you drag it down, it moves from 20 plus 1. But you don't want that to happen, right?
Customer.
For
Yes,
you
sir.
not to make that to happen, meaning that you need to lock the 41, which is the row. You know, dragging it down is the row, dragging to the right is the column. So you need to log 41 alone. Just put dollar sign at the back of it. Then you have solved all the whole problem. Then if you now drag this one down
You want charge?
and now drag this down, it will now be correct. I hope it's not difficult for you guys. Though I expect it to be difficult now, actually. I expect it to be, but you need to really understand how to make reference to know what to lock and what not to lock. This is the bedrock of Excel. If you don't know this, I'm telling you, you will not know how to use formula in your life. I'm going to go again. I'm going to start again.
Yes.
I'm playing this. Equals to See, first of all, know what you want to do. You know that these are the price of this product, and these are the customers that purchase the product, and these are the units that they are purchased. You know that you need equals to this price multiplied by the quantity, right? The same price here multiplied by different quantity. The same price should be multiplied by another different quantity. Meaning that for price in the column, you have to make it constant. Put dollar at the back of C, because price at the column is constant. The price is multiplied by different quantity. You have solved the first problem. Now, if if the column if the column of the price is logged, if you drag down, you need it to change, and that is the reason why we have not logged this 43. We have solved that problem. Now, multiplied by the quantity itself. For this quantity, you don't want just that when you drag down, it should not move. It has moved now, you can see. It has moved for the customer, moved to 4,000, which is not right. Meaning that for D41, and you know that if you drag to the right, you need it to move. Meaning, what I just need to lock here is the row, which is the 41. Put the dollar at the back of 41. You have solved every problem. Just drag to the right and drag down. Then your answer will be correct. You guys getting it? If you
Yes,
don't get it,
sir.
let me know. Let me know. Did you get it?
Yes.
All right. So you can see the power of mixed reference, absolute reference, and relative reference. You need to understand all these things. Now, I have the last one here, but then what I would do is I need you to I'm going to explain this to you. I will need you to take this as an assignment and you submit in the week. You get it? So what you have here is adult sales, child sales. You can see the adult ticket price here and the child ticket price here. Now, number of sales is number of people that attended the Christmas concert, Easter extravaganza. You have summer concert. These are the number of people that came, and this is the number of discount that was given. Right?
Yes.
The same thing for child sales. Number of people that came. I need you to now to get the total revenue for both now. It simply means you first calculate this one, you now add it to child sales, put it here. Using this price. You need to think about how to do this. Next week, we're going to do correction on this. Next week, this is what I'm going to start with, and I'll see whichever one gets it. Just so you know, don't let me. Here is number of people that have attended these concerts. This is number of, and this is a concert. This is the discount that was given to the number of people. While this is the price of those tickets. Now, using your power of style reference and your mathematical knowledge, calculate the total revenue. We're going to do that next week. In the attached sheet in WhatsApp, use that to do that and send to me. So, to bring me to the end of this class today on cell referencing. Just like what I've said, cell reference is very, very important. If you don't understand it, then there's nothing you're doing. There's nothing you're doing with Excel. You will not understand anything actually. Because every day when you want to calculate, analyze, this will come into play. I can assure you 100% to surely come into play. So I believe you've been able to understand one or two things that you don't know before now. So I want to hear your feedback, guys. Feedback.
Okay, so be able to understand clearly the difference between relative reference and absolute reference. With relative reference having uh are the ones that changes automatically, while absolutes are constant. So mix is a combination of both, which means that you have to either choose which one is the absolute and which one is the relative for you to be able to get a sum total during calculations also too.
Yeah, you are very right. So, very right. So, do you have an idea of this before?
No, no, I've not done this before.
All right. So you need to practice now. You need to
Mm.
start look at examples online beyond what I'm teaching you. Look at examples online. Try to understand, comprehend more for the next class. And I can assure you, you need it. It's very important. Esther, what about you?
Okay, yes. For me too, I already know the difference between the absolutes and the constants. And well, I am still finding it difficult to test um the mixed. But I know if I should watch the video over again and practice on my own, I will do better. But for now, I'm still finding it a bit difficult.
All right. So the thing is,
Yes, sir.
it's not difficult. Just so you know, in referencing for a cell is to be in form of a column or a row. Like this cell is called cell C4. You can see that this is cell C4 actually. Cell C4. Meaning the C is the column, the 4 is the row. But then if you are referring to another cell, like this cell now, B4, the row part is uh the number. While the column part
Yes,
is
sir.
the alphabet. You get it? Now,
Alphabet.
just put
Yes,
it in
sir.
your head that if you are locking a row, it is the number. If you are locking a column, it is the alphabet. And another thing you need to know is the row is the dragging down, while the column is the dragging to the right. First, understand that. Dragging to the right is what? Column.
Column.
Dragging down is what? Row.
Row.
You get it?
Row.
So, meaning that
Yes, sir.
dragging to the right is alphabet. Dragging down is number. Put that in your head.
Numbers.
Dragging to the right is the column. Dragging down is the row or number. Dragging to the right is the column or alphabet. Dragging down is the row or number. Now, when you are doing a calculation, when you are now doing a calculation, you now think, if I'm dragging down, okay, let's do another thing. Let me just show you something. This is the price of a product. 25 is the price of a product. I have purchased some things, some unit of things, all at 25. Everything that I purchased was 300 units, 400 units, 100 units, 50 units. But the price of all these things are 25. What does that what does that mean? It means this 25 is very important and it must not leave where it is. Right? That's what it means. If I'm going to do this analysis, I'm going to say equals to this multiplied by this. Right? If I drag this down, it will not be
Yes, sir.
correct. It simply means because this is important, it must not move, regardless of
Mm.
whether it is row or column.
Because
I'm going
it's
to
not
lock
mixed.
everything. You get it? I'm going to drag this down. Now, looking at the
Yes, sir.
same thing here. Now, let me go back to the example. Looking at the same thing here. I have the price here. And I have quantity purchased it. The price needs to move down because different products with different prices. It simply means at the price level, it needs to move down. If
Yeah.
I'm dragging, this price needs to move, meaning it needs to change. And this is what I'm saying. Equals to C4. right? It needs to move. If I drag down, it needs to change. Meaning, at the raw side of the price, I am leaving it the way it is. But now look at it. If I drag this price to the right hand side, I said that it has moved from the initial price here to the 43, which is not supposed to be. Meaning that at the row side, I'm leaving it relative, but at the column side, I'm making it absolute. I don't want it to move. I'm adding dollar. The meaning. I've solved my first problem. Multiplied by the quantity. This is the quantity. Look at the quantity. Because I have different quantity at the column side. Meaning that at the column side, I need it to move. Because I want to multiply. I want to multiply this price multiplied by 20. If I drag it down, I want the same price to multiply by 35. But now look at something. If I drag it down, it has moved from D41 to D42. And you know that at the raw side of this quantity, they need to remain constant because I need to multiply these prices by 20, the same prices by 20, 400 by 20, 420 by 20, meaning that at the raw side of the quantity, it has to be absolute. And you put dollar sign at the back of 41. This thing is very simple. First, you need to analyze it, then you drag down. Once you drag down, you see that everything will be correct. Chicken now is not hard. Did you just get what I just said now?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So that's how you look at it. You look at the row or the number. I mean, the row or the number as what did I say? The row dragging down is the row or the number. Dragging to the right is the column or the alphabet. Put that. If you understand that logic, you understand how to use it. Dragging down in Excel is the row
Alphabet.
or the number. While dragging to the right is the column or the alphabet. With that, you'll be able to solve the problem of mixed reference. Thank you very much. So you take this class knowledge test as an assignment. Next week, just during the course of the week, just send to me and I will assess it. Then next week, we'll treat it. So thank you very much, everyone. I'm going to drop this video probably by tomorrow morning. Have a very good night. I believe you have learned something tonight, right?
Yes, thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
All right. Good night, every one of you. Bye.
Good night, sir.